Welcome to Inspired by JimmyL, a podcast that inspires freedom through authenticity. Take our shows and use them, honey. Use them to listen to your gut, your intuition, and allow them to give you the courage to be free in every area of your life. We believe that success and happiness is a personal thing. Now redefine it on your terms. This show is designed to give you practical tips from realistic people who have decided to no longer keep up with the Joneses. Now, your intuition is your roadmap, but this show is here to give you more courage to simply listen. And to add, we are not pleading for ratings and reviews, but please be sure to subscribe and share every single show if you are inspired. I'm your host, Jimmy Warmize. Now let's get into the show. Again, I am your host, Jimmy Warmize, and welcome to another episode of Inspired by JimmyL. I want to say thank you all for tuning in every single week. This month of December is actually a little special. I actually have two guests this month that's coming on to inspire us to be the best version of ourselves. And on today's episode, we're listening to Hannah Gillitzer. Hannah is amazing. Oh my gosh, she is so amazing. She's a speaker, she's an HR professional, and she's a coach. And so we all know that HR or human resources in this 2019 world is drastically different from what it used to be. On this particular clip, we actually get a quick introduction into who Hannah is, what she's been up to these last few years, but more importantly, how we can navigate in this 2019 going into 2020 world. Let's listen to Hannah.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Inspired by JimmyL. Today we have Miss Hannah Gillitzer on, and she's going to give us a couple of tips about her life in the role of HR. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So very first question. So you're in HR. How long have you been in HR?
A little over 5 years.
And so what about HR is interesting to you? I mean, because, looking at it from an outsider perspective, HR, it seems like it's strenuous. It's just time consuming, energy draining. Like there's so many negatives that often are related to being in human resources. So for you, what drove you toward that?
Sure. So I took some classes in college about employment law, and I really loved the thought of helping a team or being the one to guide a team to make a safe, healthy work environment for employees, and knowing the legal and knowing the human side of things and really getting to marry that is what HR is all about, and being that advocate for employees. And so that's why I love being in HR.
I'm fascinated that you use the word safe environment. I am really fascinated by that. So what is a safe environment for you? What does that mean?
So I think a lot of people will agree that sometimes when they go to work, they feel like a number, or they feel like what they do day in and day out doesn't matter. Or if they're having a bad day and maybe aren't performing up to standards, that they're worried they'll get fired. And really just keeping that human element and being able to say, like, I see you and I understand what's happening in your life right now. Like, let's see if we can work together and make this better for you. And then that will get better for the company as well. But just really putting the human first is something that I'm really passionate about.
And so in what capacity of the human resource are you in? And so, and by that, I mean, are you in a corporate setting? Are you in a warehouse setting, a medical setting?
Sure. So right now I actually work for myself and consult.
Okay.
But I have worked in a corporate setting and I worked in a warehouse setting with Amazon. So I've done a little bit of everything.
And so is there one that you find more difficult than the other?
Really, they all are difficult in different ways, right?
Okay.
Working in a corporate setting is difficult because there are very polished expectations of what's
Mm-hmm.
needed, especially in the area I worked. It was in a luxury car company. So, right, high expectations, expensive cars.
Of course.
Then the warehouse was a totally different set of people, of rules, of life, right? And so just having those two very distinct client groups, or even now when I consult, it's different every single day. Your client is different every single day. The individuals you work with are different every single day. And so being able to adapt to that is something that I've thankfully found really easy. And so that's why I've also chose HR as able to pick and choose my client groups and kind of change accordingly to what they need.
So what about HR in the 2019 world? Because I mean, it's evolving like crazy. This is my first time being in a corporate setting, and I've been in it for the last 8 years, and it's not what it was 8 years ago, and so it's been crazy. So what is it like for you from a human resource standpoint, being in human resource in the 2019 world?
So it's a lot of technology. Right now we have applicant tracking systems, and it's no longer come in and hand someone a resume and say, I'd like to work here, please. Right? It's job boards online, and it's, making sure that your resume is going to beat the tracker, which isn't really a real thing, but people are always worried about it. And it's, it's signing up for benefits online or calling someone that maybe won't work on site if you have an HR question, especially for bigger companies now. They house a lot of HR offsite. So there's a lot of technology that's come up. And with that, you have to be so careful as a leader or an HR professional or anyone in this scenario to, like I said before, not forget about the human side of things, because you can give someone a phone number, you can give someone a website, but when they just need to talk to a real human face to face, you can't have a technological equivalent of that.
That is definitely, you know what? So I'm really glad that you brought that up in regards to the leadership side of it, because especially in a warehouse standpoint, I've seen a lot of human resource representatives that are one-sided almost. So I've seen it on both ends. I've seen it where HR is 100% for the leadership team and really not more so for the hourly associate or the workforce. And then I've seen it just the opposite. Oh Lord have mercy, I almost named that company. But Jesus, I would not do that to them. But it has been just the opposite, where they're all about the hourly associates, and it's almost as if the leadership team doesn't have any power. And so that is really weird. How in the world, how can you bridge that gap? Or do you think that we should even try to bridge that gap between both entities?
So everyone should have one focus moving forward, right? When you come into work in the morning, you should all be working towards some kind of common goal.
Okay.
And what's really hard is being in the middle for human resources. My goals are supporting business functions for my clients. And that will mean, if it's in a warehouse setting, the hourly associates and the managers.